Hey there, my friends. It's Andy coming to you live from Yorba Linda, California. And I've been doing a little research over the last several months, as I do with all my videos, make sure that I get clear, concise, and factual information. And I wanted to give you some information in regard to the race for the California Superintendent of Public Instruction here in California and the two candidates, which are Sonja Shaw and Richard Barrera. And after researching and compiling information, I believe the choice is clear as to who you should be voting for if you're a parent and have children in the schools, if you're a grandparent and have grandchildren in the schools, or even an aunt or uncle, or just a single person who lives in the state, that we want to have kids come out of our public school system educated for employment, for just having good quality people in our state. And so it's important to have public schools that are doing the right thing. And so I am going to give you mostly a slideshow presentation of the information as I compiled it and put it into clear notes, I believe, to help you understand why I believe that Sonja Shaw is the right choice for the California superintendent. And I think at the end of this presentation, you will feel the same way. What I want you to do is also kind of put another hat on. And I want you to put the hat on of somebody who is hiring somebody who's going to be in charge of educating your kids. So a tutor may be coming into your home. So, maybe it's more than one person, but you have one person who's going to be in charge of educating your children in your home. I want you to kind of imagine that, because I want it to be more intimate. So who it is that you would want in your home that would be in charge of either educating or hiring the people that will be the tutor in the different subjects that you want your child to have instruction in. And not only that, the same person that you are hiring is in charge of your budget, your checking account, your credit cards, making sure your bills get paid. And so I want you to put that hat on as somebody that if you were had a lot of money and you were Elon Musk, for instance, or pick your rich person, and you say, you know what, honey, if you're talking to your spouse, we need to hire somebody and I need them to be in charge of the education of our kids and our budget, because we are just that busy that we can't do that. So just imagine that that's who you're going to be looking for. And so you've narrowed it down. I don't know how you came up with the second choice, but you narrowed it down to two people, Sonja Shaw and Richard Barrera. And okay, going to my first slide. And so you're going to look at their background, and let's look at what they have performed in regards to academic performance. Both of them are presidents of the school board in their respective school districts. Sonja Shaw, of course, is from Chino Valley, and Barrera is from San Diego Unified. So in academic performance, as presidents of their school districts, Sonja Shaw shows stronger results with a 62.12% proficient advancement in ELA, which is the English language arts and literacy. And I forgot to tell you that CAASPP is California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress. So Shaw has stronger results, 62.12% proficient advanced in LA, 49.79% in math. Her graduation rate in her school district under her presidency is 95.5%, which is amazing in the state of California. And with an emphasis on core reading, writing, math, and civics is the reason why the graduation rate is so high. Now, Barrera, in contrast, over there in San Diego, has a lower proficiency of 56.17% in ELA and 45.3% in math, with a graduation rate of 90.3%. And you got to understand that many school districts lower the requirements for graduation. So understand that can even be high just based on the fact that they had to lower the graduation rates requirements so that more kids could graduate. So you got to look at that. So the clear difference in academic performance is that Chino Valley under Shaw shows higher absolute performance and greater improvement in core subjects. Now let's look at finances and budget management. Sonja Shaw in Chino Valley, no structural deficit. Amazing. Resources directed to classrooms through responsible budgeting. That's fantastic. Now, Barrera in San Diego, you're not going to believe this, but it's projected that they are going to have a $47 million deficit for 26-27, driven by enrollment declines and other factors. Yes, mismanagement and incompetence. So the clear difference is Shaw's district maintains fiscal stability. Barrera's faces ongoing shortfalls. The next one is staffing stability, which is really important. You'd think it would be important to the California Teachers Association, but it's not. Sonja Shaw has no major layoffs or staffing crisis reported. None, zero. And has a stable environment focused on what? On teaching. Now, Barrera over in San Diego Unified is facing layoffs, including elimination of 221 classified positions, in addition to aides and support staff, and that is to address the deficit of the $47 million deficit. So again, I just have to reemphasize, you'd think the California Teachers Association would say, you know what, we're going to put all of our money behind somebody who has no major layoffs. No, strangely enough, they put all their money behind Barrera, who is facing almost nothing but layoffs and a deficit. So the clear difference is Shaw maintains greater staffing continuity. Curriculum priorities. So what is it they're prioritizing in regard to what they're teaching their students? And this, of course, is going to address some ethnic studies and ideologies. So Shaw, over there at Chino Valley, opposes divisive or divisive, depending on how you want to say that, or unfunded ethnic studies. And then prioritizes accurate history. I made it yellow because I want you to really understand that. She prioritizes accurate history, civics, reading, and math over ideological content. Barrera over there in San Diego, he pushes and promotes a strong prominence of mandating ethnic studies for high school graduation. So the emphasis is on ethnic studies, and that's another name for CRT, SEL, and DEI, even when it's not even fully funded by the state, and equity-focused initiatives. So you wonder why there's such deficits over there in San Diego. Well, you don't wonder why. It's because of the emphasis is on something entirely different than education. So the clear difference between Shaw and Barrera is that Shaw emphasizes core academics. Barrera integrates equity and ethnic study requirements, even when it's not fully state funded. This is a big one. This is a 95-5 issue in regard to as far as voters are concerned throughout the United States, not just in California. But protecting girls' sports, privacy, and fairness, and also parent rights. So Sonja Shaw over at Chino Valley advocates for biological sex-based fairness in girls' sports and facilities, which means no boys and girls sports. Supports strong parental notification policies on gender identity, sexual orientation issues. Important. Led adoption of policies affirming parents' constitutional rights. Parents' constitutional rights, extremely important, to direct their children's upbringing and education, that it's their right and their choice, that it's parents who have the rights when it comes to their children's education, and has defended these in court, has defended them in court. Barrera in San Diego supports policies allowing biological males to participate in girls' sports and facilities. He even testified in a court hearing that was what I don't know how you testify on that. That he believes in it, that he thinks it's really important that men compete against girls in girls' sports, and he has opposed mandatory parental notification policies. Doesn't want parents involved in the education of kids. This is huge. If you don't understand one thing, and that is that he opposes parental notification policies and testified in court against requirements to notify parents about students' gender identity changes and prioritizing student privacy. Wow. And so, just to kind of put a bow on it, clear difference. Shaw prioritizes biological fairness, parental involvement notification. Barrera aligns with state level policies of favoring gender identity and student privacy over mandatory parent disclosure, and that is in spite of federal law. So let's look at their leadership style and vision. Sonja Shaw focuses on local control, parents' rights. So local control meaning that the community that the school districts are in are the ones who decide. The voters that voted for the school board members, in other words, they get to decide about the education of their kids, and also in parents' rights. And she also believes in fiscal responsibility. Wow, that's amazing. And directing resources to core academics rather than state mandates or ideology. She also positions herself as a fighter for fundamentals and proven results. You can see those in the increase in the standards of education. Now, Barrera has a long time emphasis on equity initiatives. Again, I say DEI, CRT, SEL, amid persistent financial and enrollment challenges in a large urban district. So he's basically ignoring the problems that are causing his fiscal problems and continues to push those things that are causing the fiscal problems. Next, overall contrast. So just to kind of lay it out, to put all the slides together and to kind of give you a clear contrast, is that Sonja Shaw's record is presented as delivering higher test scores, balanced budgets, staffing stability, core academics focus, and strong stands on parental rights and girls' sports privacy. Barrera, on the other hand, Barrera's leadership is characterized by lower relative academic outcomes, structural budget deficits, staff reductions, and a greater emphasis on equity ideology-driven policies. And I'm just going to end this one with one last thing, and that is, I just want to tell you what Chino Valley Unified School District and kind of sum just that district up under Sonja Shaw's presidency, and that is CVUSD maintains fiscal stability through conservative planning, proactive enrollment adjustments, and targeted resource allocation that prioritizes classrooms and student outcomes. This approach has enabled positive budget certifications. Reserves well above the financial reserves are well above statutory minimums and balanced multi-year projections despite statewide pressures, declining enrollment, and state funding volatility. So again, I think the choice is clear. If you were, again, that person who had the money to hire somebody that's going to be responsible for your kids' education and your financial health, your budget, your checking account, savings account, your credit cards, all wrapped up into one. This one person was going to be responsible for both. Which one of these two people would you elect? I believe that if you are going to say, well, Sonja Shaw, because based on everything that is factual that I gave you, everything that is true, everything that I have, every bit of information that supports everything I just told you, if you're to look at that, you would not make any other choice than Sonja Shaw. Again, this is a nonpartisan position here in the state of California. And so you need to look at it from that perspective, regardless of you being, whether you're a Republican, a conservative Christian, a liberal, Democrat, progressive, whether you're atheist, Christian, Catholic, it doesn't matter. If you're looking at this straight from a parental point of view, a grandparent point of view, a uncle or an aunt, or a single person with no kids who simply wants to go to Starbucks or go to the sports store or whatever store you want to go to and have a person that helps you, that is helpful, that understands what it is that their job entails and can count back the cash if the cash register happens to be broken, and and understands what it means to be nice and to serve as an employee. If you're an employer and simply want people that you can hire that will be competent and understand how to read, write, and count, then again, I think the choice is clear that you want somebody like Sonja Shaw, who has proven to be a leader for a school district for a good period of time now, compared to the other person that's running who has shown a clear incompetence in running his school district as the president of the school board. Again, I think the choice is clear. All right, my friends, hope this has been helpful. Share this out to your friends that live in California in particular so that they can know the facts behind these two candidates. All right, my friend, we'll see you later. Take care. Bye.